Good evening, Florida State, and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman.
And I'm student meteorologist Ariana Goldstein. We're here with you tonight on this lovely Tuesday evening. It ended up being a beautiful day today when the sun was going down, actually. It started out pretty iffy, but there's rain, but that sun came out later in the day, right before sunset, actually.
Yeah, thankfully to leave for a nice, beautiful sunset, but as I was walking to class today back and forth, it was raining and it was cold. I had my jacket and my umbrella.
Yeah, it was prime class time when the rain came through, and it was all day, too. My friend asked me, she was like, hey, Ariana, when's it going to rain? I was like, probably when you're walking to class today, like 9 to 2, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Prime class walking time.
So if you had those later in the night classes, things worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah,
but those people who were walking to school today, not ideal conditions at all. But tomorrow will be better.
Tomorrow will be better. It'll be prettier outside, a little more cold, foreshadowing for the rest of the show. But at least we won't be getting rained on. The sun will be out, so it won't feel as cold, hopefully, as the temperature or the thermometer says.
Yeah, and actually not too far north, saw some snow in the south today. Luckily or unluckily, depending how you think of it, we didn't get any snow around here, but
yeah, honestly, like if we got snow, it'd be pretty cool, but I came to Florida to get away from the snow, but
see, I'm from Florida, so snow is good in my book.
Snow, honestly. It would be cool to see snow during the school year.
But for now, let's take a look at that current radar with Michael at the wall.
Yeah, thanks, Brittany and Ariana. And basically, I can describe today in one word, and that word is raw. But you can see those clouds starting to clear the region now behind that cold front. And that clearing is going to allow our temperatures to really cool down into nighttime hours. There will be a little bit of a wind, so we'll feel a little bit colder than it actually is outside. But right now, that cold front is moving out of our region. You see high pressure situated just in the mid-south, and that's going to bring in the colder temperatures along with it. So for tonight's forecast, you see 28 degrees will be a low with mostly clear skies, and that wind of 9 miles per hour will make the wind chills in the upper 20s to around the low 20s to the upper teens, so it'll feel much colder than it actually is outside. And we might get a little colder if those clouds clear out a little bit quicker and those winds lighten a little bit. But as we go into our 3-day forecast, you see the chilly temperatures for the next 2 days, 50 on Wednesday and 58 on Thursday. Rain chances do come back on Friday with the new frontal system, but our temperatures do warm up to 63. So to sum up with our headlines, expect those below freezing temperatures tonight. It will be dry and cool the next few days, but the rain chances do return on Friday. But for now, Brittany's going to take another look at our local forecast and describe these very cold temperatures.
Thanks, Michael. Take a look at our high we saw today, 53 degrees, and our average is 65 degrees, so we were definitely well below average, and as well as our low of 34 degrees, slightly below our average of 40 degrees, but nothing compared to our record. But tonight, with those temperatures in the 20s, we could get close to those records. But currently 50 degrees under those partly cloudy skies. Sun's starting to peek out as we end the evening with that northwest wind at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures across the area already seeing 40s in our northern counties, 46 in Quincy, as well as 48 in Bainbridge, and Apalachicola is still sticking in the 50s at 51 degrees. Winds coming out of the north getting pretty breezy at times, 11 miles per hour in Tallahassee as well as Quincy, and 8 in St. Mark's. That's bringing in the cooler air as well as the drier air, and that's why we're seeing those dew points in the 40s and 30s, feeling comfortable. We're not muggy, but we're not dry at the same time, but drier conditions are on the way as this front continues to push southward. Some leftover showers as this front moves by. Bring your umbrella, keep it on you for the next couple hours just in case you run into one of these showers, but things will clear up as we go into the night. Zooming out, our next focus will be this high pressure taking over, allowing for clearer conditions over the next couple days, but some more moisture isn't far behind that, and we'll see those next rain chances coming on Friday. For tonight, 30 degrees for Tallahassee. Some areas in Tallahassee could dip into those 20s though. 29 degrees for Bainbridge as well as 27 for Thomasville. We do actually have some freeze warnings in effect for areas to our east. But over the next 24 hours, we will see things clear up and some clouds in the sky. As we go in tomorrow, we'll see that sun peek out, but mostly cloudy skies, and we'll continue these conditions over the next couple days. Looking at your day planner for tomorrow, waking up 32 degrees right at that freezing point at 8 a.m. We won't warm up much. By noon, we'll still stay chilly in the mid-40s and barely breaking into the 50s tomorrow. So hopefully when that sun comes out, you will feel that nice warmth to help warm you up. For the week ahead, Wednesday, that high of 50 and that low of 28 tonight. Definitely bundle up if you have any outdoor plans tonight. We'll stick in those 50s throughout Thursday. Friday, giving that 30% chance of rain as that next system comes through and will give us those chances of rain into the weekend as we keep a 20% chance for Saturday and Sunday. But look, we're going to warm up to 70 degrees on Sunday. That will be nice if you're not used to these 50s, and we'll keep those lows in the 50s. And going into next week, things look really nice. We're actually going to shift from a cooler than average season over to a more warmer than average season. We'll keep those highs in the 70s next week, and even Tuesday, mostly sunny and 75 degrees. All right, Ariana, let's take a look at the southeast where they actually saw some snow today.
Oh my gosh, they saw snow today in the southeast. Well, Brittany, I must tell you, those temperatures are pretty raw in the southeast today. If you take a look at Little Rock, right now, you're at 37 degrees. I'm pretty sure, and Jackson, you're also 37 degrees, but I'm pretty sure Mississippi got that snow today. They got, I think, about an inch of snow they were supposed to get, but in Mississippi, that can cause a lot of chaos because they are not used to the snow. If that happened to us in Tallahassee, even more chaos. If you take a look around though, New Orleans, you're sitting at a good 49, Tallahassee pretty similar at 50. And if you take a look at the rest of Florida, Miami, you're sitting down there at 67. A little bit chilly for you right now, I guess, at this time of the year. You're used to your 70s and 80s in Miami. But Tampa, you're sitting at 59. It is a little chilly down there. That cold front is moving through our area right now. If you take a look at this section right here, you can see those counterclockwise winds moving. This is the low front that came through our area today, bringing all of that rain. The rain is out of our area. It is still moving east, but you can see this is those counterclockwise winds are the low front, the low pressure system. Sorry. And then if you take a look at Tallahassee, those 11-mile-per-hour winds are coming from the north. You can see those Arctic air winds coming into our area, making that temperature continue to drop throughout the night. If you look over here more to the west, you can see those clockwise winds over here. This is that high pressure system that will be moving into our area later tonight / tomorrow, bringing those clear skies and that cool, dry temperature. But for right now, the dew point is actually pretty high in Tallahassee because there's a lot of moisture in the air from that rain. We're sitting at a nice 47, which is pretty high for this time of the year, but that's because there was all that rain that came through today and there's still all of that moisture. You can see this line right here, and you can see the big difference between Montgomery and Tallahassee. Your dew point is 20 in Montgomery because that dry air from the high pressure system is in your area, and the cold front is currently coming through, which is coming to Tallahassee right now, making those temperatures drop. If you look at the satellite and radar, you can see this high pressure system I was talking about right here. It is moving into our area, bringing clear skies, and that rain is being pushed out to the ocean away. Yay, we don't like rain and cold weather. We like the sun because we are the sunshine state in Florida. The next 24 hours though, you can see those clouds are getting pushed, or later in the 24 hours, the clouds are getting pushed in our area. But if you start out tomorrow, it is going to be pretty nice outside. The sun will be shining. But for tonight, you can see it will be 30 degrees, like Brittany said, in Tallahassee. Very cold, under warning, or there are some freeze warnings in the area. It could reach under 30 here in Tallahassee, but it is going to be pretty chilly for the rest of Florida too. Tampa, you're going to hit 47, which is pretty chilly for this time of the year for you. So I would grab your jacket if I was in Tampa because it's a little chilly for you guys. You could see that freeze warning here by Lake City. So make sure to keep your pets, plants, people, pipes, the 4 Ps, make sure and do that. And tomorrow you can expect these temperatures over here. It is going to be more chilly than today, but the sun will be out at least. So right now we are actually going to look, what's the difference? Precipitation. What are the different precipitations? Tell us, Brittany.
Yeah, so the big question of today was why we saw snow in some places in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, And why did some places see rain? Well, the difference between how does precipitation form is the temperature. Temperature plays a key role in this, and not just at the surface, but as you go up into the atmosphere. So if precipitation is falling from the clouds and enters a region of above freezing temperatures, this will melt into rain, and that's why we see rain mostly here in Florida. But if there's an area near the surface where it is below freezing, temperatures below 32 degrees, that precipitation is going to freeze, and that will cause freezing rain. This is where you get the problems of roads also freezing and making driving conditions very dangerous. But if you have a bigger chunk of that below freezing temperature in the atmosphere as this precipitation is falling, you'll get that slippery sleet. Try saying that 3 times fast. And that's also a pretty big problem. But if you extend the atmosphere and it's all below 32 degrees, you have that snow. So that's why we saw snow in some areas and just rain or freezing rain in others, just because of that temperature. And this is a big role in driving conditions, and probably played a big role this morning as we went into the day and entered the morning hours into Atlanta especially. That was a big concern.
Yeah, I know, Brittany. In Atlanta, it's one of those regions where they try to be a little bit more cautious now these days, especially what happened in 2014 with the disaster that basically unfolded with basically rain and then it froze and then you got snow on top of that. So basically it was just a big ice rink on the roads.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of pictures of just cars smashed into each other up and down the street. So you want to check your tires before a system like this moves through your area. Make sure you have that adequate tread on the tires, and check your tire pressure, because that will play a key role, especially with those temperature differences.
Yeah, and a good way to check that is like you put a penny inside the tread and check to see if it's like above, I think, Abraham Lincoln's head. I think that's the reason.
I did not know that. That is good to know.
So that's a good way to check it. And so don't forget to remove ice and snow from your car. That actually, it helps not only you, but also the drivers around you, because if that ice and snow gets into another car, it could cause damage.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be responsible for the accident of happening to someone else because you left snow on top of your car.
Yeah, the final thing is avoiding the skidding, and especially in Atlanta with all the hills and a little bit of troughs and ridges over there. It's hard driving there, especially where I'm from. With all those driveways, it can be a little bit tough to drive.
Yeah, for sure. So be weather aware and stay aware of how to control your car, especially in these conditions. But nationally, there's really cold temperatures up north, and Michael's going to tell us more about that.
Yeah, and when you look at this map, the first thing you'll probably look at is what the heck is happening up in the Dakotas and in Minnesota and in the Great Lakes. It is really cold up there. You can see -13 in Bismarck, -17 in Minneapolis. That's your air temperature. That's cold to begin with. This is not including the winds that are happening right now. See the winds up towards Minneapolis and Bismarck. It's in the teens, 15 in Bismarck and 17 in Minneapolis coming from the north, and coming from the west in Chicago at 14 miles per hour. And so when you factor that in with the feels like temperature, that's the wind chill, these are honestly dangerous to be outside. You can get frostbite immediately if you're outside. 42 in Bismarck, 37 in Bismarck, 42 in Minneapolis. And you see that red right along the North Dakota-Minnesota border. That's probably wind chills in the -50s, close to -60s. So that is very dangerous to be outside. But also in Kansas City and Chicago, those are wind chills that are very dangerous, and you can get frostbite very easily. -1 in Kansas City, -16 in Chicago. And then down towards the south, our wind chills will also get into a little bit dangerous level. We do have some advisories in the North Georgia mountains just because the wind chills will get into the single digits. So be a little bit dangerous down there. On satellite and radar, you see that cold front starting to exit the eastern coast with some snow up towards the Adirondacks and into the Green Mountains in Vermont. Rain on the I-95 corridor. High pressure is building in behind that. Interesting feature up towards Minneapolis and in Green Bay. That actually isn't cloud. The ground is so cold that the satellite is thinking that's actually cloud cover. That's how cold it is up there. So very interesting feature up towards Minneapolis. And we do have some scatter showers down towards the desert southwest. Now, as we take a look at what's happening locally, up towards the Midwest, you'll see that there is some showers and some snow due to the lake effect something is wrong with our graphics right now. But you notice that there are some lake effect showers up towards Chicago and out. Well, first let's look down towards the southeast. You see that there is rain due to that cold front. And take a look out towards the northeast, you'll see that snow, as I was saying, in the Green Mountains, and then out towards the Midwest, we do have that lake effect snow showers. Have a lot of advisories. Let's first talk about the cold temperatures with this wind chill advisory in gray and wind chill warning in gray, wind chill advisory in blue. The pink and the purples are windstorm warning and winter weather advisories. That's due to the lake effect snow and the snow from that cold front out towards the northeast. Down towards the south, we do have a freeze warning because temperatures are going to get into the upper 20s, so you do want to bring your plants indoors if you're out towards Lake City and Waycross. Now for tonight's forecast, notice the cold conditions, the very cold Arctic air across the northern part of the country. Negative 26 in Minneapolis. Your wind chills will probably be in the negative 40s to negative 50s, and then for tomorrow, negative teens up towards the Dakotas and Minnesota. Negative 14 in Minneapolis, negative 10 in Bismarck. Now down towards the south, a little bit of a warm spot in Texas with 56 in San Antonio, 53 in Dallas-Fort Worth, and some warm conditions down towards Florida. But Ariana, let's take a look back locally where it feels slightly warmer compared to the Midwest.
Yeah, wow, Michael. Those conditions are really raw. If you take a look right now where we are, oh, just joking. Oh, we're back. We are at 50 degrees right now, but earlier today you needed this umbrella. It was very useful walking to class. It was raining all day when walking to class. This umbrella was very useful to me. But right now, as you can see, it is partly cloudy. It's 50 degrees. The temperature will continue dropping throughout the night. Those winds are coming out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour because those are going to be some cold winds coming into our area. But if you take a look at temperatures around Tallahassee, they're all pretty much the same, pretty constant. Tallahassee, you're at 50 right now, like I said, and all around mid-40s, low 50s. They will continue to drop throughout the night. That dew point, like I mentioned earlier, is still high because that moisture is still in the air from earlier. But don't worry, it will move out of our way. The moisture will leave. That high pressure system will bring that dry air into our area. You can see it right here actually with those clockwise winds. It will be moving towards our area, and that low pressure system down there with the counterclockwise winds will be moving out of our area. This is where all that moisture is, but it is moving out towards the ocean, and those cold Arctic airs are coming down to us, bringing those really cold temperatures. Those wind speeds are pretty high because that Arctic air is moving very fast into our area with that cold front coming to us that followed behind all of that rain that you can see right there. But like we've been showing the whole show, this high pressure system is moving to us, bringing clear skies for later tonight and tomorrow, but those clouds may return in the afternoon. Tonight, though, it's going to be pretty chilly outside. I would wear your jacket. Maybe not the best night to take your dog out on a walk. It's going to be 30 degrees in Tallahassee, which is below freezing. So like Brittany said, if it were to rain, it would not be rain. It would be snow because that temperature is below 32 degrees. The next 24 hours, you can see that high pressure system moving in, bringing that clear skies, and then there will be some returning of clouds tomorrow, and the temperature will continue to drop because that cold front has come through our area and is continuing to come now, and those temperatures will be much more chilly. For the week ahead, though, tomorrow you're going to hit your low at 50. 28 will be the low for tomorrow, 58, but for Thursday, and the temperatures will continue to rise, and on your Super Bowl Sunday, you're actually going to hit 70. And Michael and I are actually going to talk about the Super Bowl a little bit because it is this Sunday, which is really crazy how fast it came upon us, honestly. Like,
yeah,
it's already the first weekend of February, which is very surprising.
I know, very surprising, and we're going to continue with the theme of Atlanta, given that the Super Bowl is in Atlanta this year. And because it's in Atlanta this year, we're going to talk about the last time it was in Atlanta, 2000. That was not a good Super Bowl for Atlanta.
I'm very sorry you feel that way. Because maybe it was a good Super Bowl for Atlanta, in my opinion. But I don't know who played. So
the game itself
was
exciting. Yeah, the game was really exciting with that last second flaw.
But like, wasn't there also something else crazy that happened in the last Super Bowl in Atlanta? It was disrupted by ice.
An ice storm.
Ice storm?
And, and ice storms aren't easy to deal with. They can cause big travel issues. The ice storm actually happened the week before the Super Bowl, but the travel impacts went into the Super Bowl week, so it was very hard on all the visitors to get around and experience the city of Atlanta.
I bet. It's lots of people sliding everywhere. You got to skate to the game instead of driving. Honestly, it makes it a little more fun. But let's hope it doesn't happen this year because
it's not a good type of fun. But
ice skating?
Well, ice skating is fun, but driving on ice is not fun.
Well, the good thing about living in Florida is that we're probably not going to have to drive on ice living in Florida. But Brittany's going to tell us a little bit more about Florida's weather, actually.
All right, temperatures across Florida kind of ranging a pretty big amount. We're 47 degrees and sunny skies in Pensacola, but head down south and you're 67 degrees in Miami, feeling pretty mild over there. And this front will continue to make its way towards the south, eventually cooling them off. But right now, the south is actually warming out ahead of the cold front, which is expected because you're warming up, you're getting muggier conditions, and then behind the front, you're cooling down. So we're 12 degrees cooler than we were yesterday in Pensacola, as well as 6 degrees cooler than we saw yesterday in Tallahassee. And as this front approaches, things will cool down also for South Florida. Winds coming out of the north for South Florida, 16 miles per hour in Pensacola, as well as 11 miles per hour in Tallahassee. When you head down south, things calm down and you have some more onshore flow, bringing in slightly muggier dew points. For your dew points, 27-degree dew point in Pensacola. It's very dry, and as you head down south, you have those 40s, indicating some more comfortable to muggier conditions. But let's put some faces on this. So smiles all across the board, feeling pretty comfortable all around the state of Florida. Even though we're a little more muggier down in South Florida, it's still fairly comfortable. Looking at our satellite and radar, high pressure is going to start to take over as the cold front continues to make its way towards the southeast, bringing in cooler and drier air. Let's zoom in on that rain. We do still have some showers breaking off into the west coast of Florida, Tampa area. As this cold front approaches, it looks like the showers are weakening, and that will be the trend as we go into the night. So if we had a lot of rain over here in Tallahassee, but South Florida should not see as much as we did. Going to the next 24 hours, that's what our models imply. The rain starting to taper off, some clouds lingering around for sure over the next 24 hours over the whole state of Florida. And South Florida will have those chance of showers tomorrow, but nothing heavy or severe for tomorrow. For tonight, 31 degrees for Pensacola. You can almost really see where that cold front will be situated tonight, where you have the 30s over in Gainesville and then 40s and 50s when you go towards Tampa and south of Tampa, and 47 degrees for Orlando. You'll still need a coat though for sure if you're going out in South Florida. As far as east of Tallahassee, Lake City, Waycross, and Gainesville, all included in a freeze warning tonight. That is because temperatures will be dropping below freezing, and there's a lot of farmland over here, so they want to be safe for those crops. For tomorrow, temperatures won't even break out of the 50s for much of North Florida, including Tampa getting in on this colder weather. 59 degrees for Tampa, but Miami sitting at 71 degrees. That's a beach day for me, especially with temperatures in the 50s here. But Michael's going to break down what to expect tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Brittany. And 71 is kind of cool for those in South Florida, surprisingly. I'll take that. But let's take a look at our almanac for today. You saw we did have our high of 53 degrees. That was mainly in the morning before the rain actually came in. Our low of 34 did happen really early in the morning before sunrise. These are below our averages, and it's going to be well below average for tomorrow based on our temperatures. But currently, we are at 50 degrees under partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Fortunately, the clouds couldn't clear out for a very nice sunset. But we will have a nice sunset tomorrow as the sun will return. So temperatures right now across the rest of the region, 50 here in Tallahassee, 46 in Quincy under partly cloudy skies, 46 in Bainbridge, and a little bit warmer down towards the coast at 51 in Apalachicola. The dew points, we still have some moisture, so 47 in Tallahassee, 45 in Quincy. But once those clouds clear, that will allow the dew points to really drop into the 20s tomorrow morning. So it's going to be very dry outside. You do need your chapstick, and it's going to be very cold. Now the winds, you can see a little bit breezy coming out from the northwest, allowing that colder air to filter in. 11 miles per hour in Tallahassee and Quincy, 12 in Monticello and Thomasville, 13 in Bainbridge. These winds should calm down as we head into nighttime hours, and that will allow our temperatures to really drop into the 20s in the overnight. Now, satellite radar shows you that cloud line starting to move through Gaston County, and it will move through Leon County in the next hour. And once those clouds clear, that will allow the temperatures to really drop. And once those winds do calm, we'll drop those temperatures even further. So it's going to be a very cold morning. Once again, you can see the story I'm trying to pinpoint here. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning, so be prepared to be bundled up. So again, nationally, we do have that high pressure starting to move in, and that's going to keep the cold weather for the next day or so. And then once we're on the western side of that high pressure, those winds will shift, and we'll begin to warm up as we head into the weekend. So the weekend is looking much warmer here in Tallahassee. But for now, we do have to deal with the cold. The temperatures will drop into the upper 20s going into tomorrow morning. And with the northerly wind, we won't be able to get much, only up around 50 degrees tomorrow afternoon. So tonight, 28 degrees as our temperature. And as we look at our 7-day, you'll see that we will be cool in the beginning, but then it really warms up. Look at the difference between our low tomorrow morning, Ariana, and our low on Tuesday. That's 32-degree difference.
Wow.
28 and 60.
That's a big difference. I want Tuesday to come already. Come on now. I don't like to fast forward, but Tuesday, where are you at? Come on.
Yeah, and a lot of people do come to Florida for the warmer temperatures, and we will get that by next week.
Yes, good. Thank God. Like, I know it's wintertime, but this is a little too wintry for me, for Florida, even though we are in Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
It'll be gone fast, though. So.
One of the reasons why I came down here is for the warmer temps. Actually, that was the main reason.
Exactly. And look what we got. We got 52 right now. But wait, take a look at Minneapolis and New Orleans. That is a 100-degree temperature
for your feels
difference.
Like temperature. Well,
that is a 100-degree temperature difference to negative 42 to 41.
Yeah,
that's crazy. The height of the United States, 100-degree difference.
And that's not the worst of it. We're thinking the wind chills could get into the negative 50s and negative 60s in spots. So
yeah, I know they've already like canceled school in places up north because for cold days, like it's just too cold for the kids to stand outside at the bus stop, and you could get frostbite very quickly with those temperatures.
With those wind chills, it doesn't take long to get frostbite. Probably not even less than 5 minutes to get frostbite with wind chills like that.
100%. Very dangerous temperatures. But follow us on Twitter. Show us your cool pictures on Twitter. We'll retweet them at FSU Weather.
Yeah, don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather. That's where we post our social media.
And watch us live on YouTube right now or in 30 minutes. We'll be there, so.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Instagram at FSU Weather. You can show some pics of how you're staying warm with a good mug of hot cocoa. I'm a hot cocoa, not a coffee lover, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm a coffee lover. But at night, it is time for hot chocolate and marshmallows with lots of whipped cream. I agree.
Yep, but for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Ariana Goldstein. Have a good night. Stay warm.